Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. What I want to talk about in this video is something I've talked about in other videos, I'm sure, which is when I'm answering a question, somebody asked me, do you need to have military experience to work in a close protection business? And the answer is, well, no, you don't, but it might help. It helps to open doors. People look upon it as being relevant experience, but being in the military and being in the close protection world are two different worlds, two different services. Even if you've done close protection in the military, in the civilian world, it's a completely different world, completely different environment. I think everybody, every male at least, and I have a traditional mindset, so I only know males and females. If you're in between, good luck to you. Everybody should do, I think everybody should do a couple of years in the military. If nothing else, it will give them a little bit of discipline and get them used to being away from mummy and daddy. That's another story. And I've come across how many people trying to get into the security business, well, trying to get into the close protection business, and a couple of people in the close protection business, I think their mummies still wipe their asses for them, which to me is not a positive. So I would say, yes, being in the military helps, but it's not a necessity. How can I put it? I'll put it this way. One second. I generally don't use guys that's been in the military too long. Why? Because to me, in my experience, they're institutionalized. If somebody spent too long in the military, they have a fixed mindset. Where for me, in the close protection business, you need an open mindset. If you've been in the military, I've done 5 years, 5, 6 years, etc. Okay, that's fine. But where you get guys that's been in the military their whole career, 20 plus years, to me, they're too institutionalized. Their mindset is too fixed. I'm sure how many of you say, well, no, we're not, etc., etc. We don't have fixed mindsets. Let me give you an example. On our firearms courses, where we have the space, some of our firearms courses, we shoot out pistol, 9mm, zero range, shooting from the hip, etc., out to 100 meters plus. Well, generally, and this is where what a lot of people don't realize, generally most militaries are not, most people that's in the military are not that well trained on pistols. Generally, from my perspective, most people I've seen that's just gone through basic military pistol training cannot shoot a fucking pistol. They don't shoot from the hip, they don't do this, they don't do that. It's very much standard, stand there and plink. Anyway, I have people asking me, oh, we want to be one of your instructors, etc. You know what, fuck you. Watch my other videos. That's my opinion on if you want to be one of my instructors. And I have these guys commenting on our videos where we're shooting out to 100 meters, and a lot of them class themselves as being small arms experts. And the funny thing is, most of the critics are coming out of UK, where firearms are extremely fucking limited. Oh, you can't shoot out to 100 meters, you can't do this, you can't. Well, we do it. Just because you can't. And I have them saying, well, a 9mm, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yes, you can. You can't because you can't shoot a pistol, but you class yourself as a small arms expert. I say small mind expert. But again, this is where they have the fixed mentality and they don't have the open mind to be able to progress past their basic limitations. So yes, being in the military can help. Being in the military can open doors. This is where a lot of the CP jobs, guys keep them amongst people they know, which are all ex-military guys, etc. There's some basic camaraderie, basic connection there, etc. But you don't need to have military experience. To me, and I'll be honest, if I'm looking at people these days, I have a lot more time. If somebody's done a little bit of time in the military, cool. But I look at it more of, it takes a lot more discipline and motivation to be a fighter. takes a lot more discipline and motivation, self-discipline and self-motivation to be a fighter than, I mean, a sports fighter, be it whatever fighting discipline. It takes a lot more self-discipline and self-motivation to do that than it does to be in the military. Why? Because you don't have somebody telling you what to do. You don't have somebody watching over you. You don't have somebody spoon feeding you. You don't get up in the morning, go for breakfast, do this, do that. In the military, your life is managed. Whereas in the civilian world, you have to be a self-starter or else you're not going anywhere. And this is where a lot of military guys fall flat on their face when they leave the military. They're used to having a structured life and being told what to do. Now they're in the big bad world where they have to look after themselves. They can't do it. I also look at people, how can I put it, assess the lifestyle. Can they actually look after themselves? As I said, if I identify people are too connected to their mummies and they're not left home before, or they're dependent on anything, to me it's a big red flag. In the close protection business, especially if you're working internationally, you need to be able to look after yourself on all aspects, be it security, be it administration, be it financially. And a lot of people can't do it. They're used to being spoon-fed because they're institutionalized. Anyway, just my thoughts. Being in the military helps, but it's not a necessity. And if you want to get into close protection business, you need to be a self-starter, not thinking you're just going to walk in and everybody's going to take care of you. You need to be able to feed yourself. Anyway, just my perspective on whether you need military experience or not, and the answer is no. So in the meantime, follow me along on social media. I have a lot more videos up. My preferred platforms are X and LinkedIn, even though I've got some stuff up, but we've got a lot of stuff up on YouTube and Instagram. I'm not too keen on those platforms. So follow me along on social media. I have an array of books up on Amazon. We talk about various aspects of the close protection business, security business, kidnap and ransom, crime fiction, etc. And we should be starting out our courses toward the end of 2024. Again, we're taking a break because I've been too busy. So in the meantime, follow us along, reach out if you have any questions, and as always, be good, stay safe, and try to stay out of trouble.